Hmm.
I'm
But
just gonna sort out some files
yeah, yeah,
as
that's fine. That's fine.
we go.
So right now we're setting up the next lobby. It is going to be here on. Did I see Overgrowth? I believe, or did I read it wrong?
Cactus
Cactus
Valley.
Valley. Oh, I read.
Overgrowth is out, man.
Overgrowth is out. Yeah, I
Yes,
was. I
it's
was.
no
That's
no
what I
no
was
no longer here
wondering.
in the
Yeah, I
it's
was
not
like,
here anymore.
I got an invitation. I clicked it really quickly. I was like, did I just read Overgrowth? I was like, oh, that's interesting. But no, okay, cool. Cactus Valley is going to be played here, and well, going to see if Smile still will try for that Banshee play.
Maybe he'll be a little disheartened. I mean, he's losing everything right away. But we will have to see. I mean, Banshee play is pretty much the most common way to go about things, because if you can get in and get some damage done, not only will you get some valuable scouting information, but depending on how much you get done with that Banshee, you can from there make a decision if you want to continuously commit to heavy harassment and react a little bit to what your opponent is up to. So, very flexible way to open, as long as, of course, you don't fly into Viking first things.
Yeah, I feel that finishing that cloak just to get another Banshee was a bit of a mistake here. But that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to spawn in here on Cactus Valley. And our first player to the bottom left-hand side is going to be none other than Smile, playing for my Insanity. And his opponent in the top left-hand side, playing for Shot, is none other than the Red Terran Cealer. And he's up one game in this best out of three. Right now, it is a TVT, and it's the first one we've seen so far. Maybe even the only one we're going to see here.
May so be, unless they end up facing each other in the up and down game again.
Hmm.
But
Or if both manage to qualify.
oh yeah, and then they play in the rounds of eight, or they make it, or they face each other in the semi-finals. Because I mean, these are the only two Terrans left now.
Actually, we do have Major as well.
Oh yes, he is directly, but he's directly seeded in, so he's not going to be playing until in the later rounds.
And
So
I guess
he's
Killer
not in
Zer
the
as
group
well.
stage. But none of these guys are in the group.
No. Killer Zer as well, of course, could come out and do really well as well. A name that did really pop up in 2014.
I started taking names.
Oh yeah, big names. Actually, I think like there was a bit of hype going around with Kelzer coming out and starting to take down some people. But then I think the biggest thing before I actually started beating people left and right was when I can't remember who it was, but there were a few pros who came out and said that he was like usually when people get hyped, there's this player who maybe won by a gimmick or he was good for a few games, but they came out and said like this guy is genuinely really, really, really good at this game, and people started hyping up really, really well, and he has been living up to it so far.
We'll have to see how he does, or rather, how well he does in Copa America and WCS. If he can manage to grab that Premier Seed or not. We'll perhaps have to play versus Major. We'll see. Or maybe he'll face one of these guys.
Yeah.
So, once again, fairly early gas from Cealer goes right into that factory first. Starts getting that marine count, and maybe we'll just go for the very same sort of play. Smile though, switching things up a little. He went gas into the barracks and then for a command center.
So, well, Smile's going to stack up a bit of gas at least here, while Sealer getting his Reaper out already. Right now, though, he's trying to deny as much scouting as possible, but Smile did get in. I did scout the gas timing, probably did have time to click it as well. I didn't actually catch it, though. And right away, Sealer going for that second gas. Might be looking to be the one to go for Banshees this time, as it was actually him last time going for the Viking Raven.
A more defensive play there from Cealer in game number one. Perhaps try to sort of just get a feel for what his opponent will be doing, and I kind of like that and get in the first game in a best of three series. But now I do hope, like you say, I will see him put on some pressure. The Reaper is heading south. We'll see if he can get in. It's actually, there's only this little ledge here from where he can circumvent. Oh no, never mind. There's actually one into the north, so he's going to go right up into the natural, perhaps pick off an SCV. Can even dance up into the main if he wants to. Already chipping away a little of that HP on these Marines.
And the Reap actually, by getting in here, as Cealer didn't have any scouting previously to this is actually a pretty big deal. He's going to see exactly the gas time he sees. The second gas, he was almost about to deny the factory from building for a few seconds. Go see if he actually does tow down that SCV. He does, but a popping Marine here will kill off the Reaper, but does get in with a Hellion because of it.
I might pick up a couple of more worker kills already. Very annoying. Strong start here yet again for Cealer, but this time he's being the aggressor. Behind this, more Hellions on the way. There we go, starts that cloak and the first Banshee.
Oh.
Scan does go down. There's a great scan here for Smile, so he knows exactly what he's up against. So as long as he makes sure to stay in this bunker, get that engineering bay up, get a turret in each base, he should be fine, because I mean he'll be ahead in terms of economy. Even though he lost a couple of SCVs, still double production.
So, Smile is going to have a really good setup for kind of a 1-on-1 play, but it's going to be quite delayed. So he's going to have the early siege tanks here, which is great for the later stages of the game if he wants to push, and even if he wants to go in with the kind of bio siege tank style that is quite popular. That being said, Cealer has his 1-1-1 already set up here, and it's really well suited for that kind of mech style that we saw him go for the first game, and the Hellion play that he did pull off that is really scary against anyone going for bio. Even though you get Marauders, the Hellions can just really fry everything.
Yeah, as long as it's stacked up, Hellions actually do crazy damage.
And they could just be able to pass the Marauders because you usually only get one at a time, or at most two.
Oh yeah, that's true. Like Hellions, of course, being crazy fast, very mobile units. But now, I like this from Smile, though, I have to say. This time we see him go for a very defensive posture. He went straight for that siege tank and the Viking, even getting tank number 2. So, I don't think that we'll see Cealer being able to actually break in here without taking considerable losses. So perhaps we'll just see him back off. He is sending units across, though. This might be a little bit of a misstep.
Well, he can actually just go for the contain as well, something very common in TVT. And we see Cealer now getting a few worker kills with this, so it's not just all in vain. He's actually pulling a lot of units, or rather, right now, just a Viking and a Marine. I was expecting more, to be honest. But, well, we'll lose that Banshee in the end. But another one comes by, and now he's starting to pressure this bunker. This is a very important structure.
Yeah, this is pretty much... oh wait, actually, see... Yeah, okay, the bunker will perhaps fall. I don't think it's the biggest deal, because, I mean, he does have that tank advantage, keep that in mind. And he's actually going to be darting on forward here very bravely, and even picks off the Banshee, loses a tank for it, but the bunker still stays. And Smile, up in worker supply, up in army supply. Very comfortable hold for him here.
So why Cealer really wants to deal damage here is not just because he wants to be really aggressive, it's because his natural is so much later than Smile, and no one has to watch out here.
Yeah, 5 Marines, 6 Marines, even though a few of them are very low, they have more than enough damage to kill a single siege tank.
And looks like Smile wants to go into bio straight away here again. This time though, he's going to have a really nice lead, deciding not to go into the Banshee play first, and Cealer's just going to have to run off and try to go into the macro game, being behind already by 6 workers, but of course it's been a lot of mining time, which means that the armies and kind of infrastructure of Smile is really well set up.
Yeah, even though I want to give Cealer some credit here, like the way that he has his infrastructure set up will give him a fairly smooth transition, even though his economy is going to be a little weaker than that of his opponent. Nonetheless, Smile right now, Stim started, more tanks churning out constantly, and well, should look to start his upgrades as well for the bio, even having a 3rd command center to finish up, and now he's going to go up to these 5 barracks that he wants. So Smile this time, in a completely reversed position, looking very good.
He also decides to poke in here with a few Vikings, does get one of Cealer's as he tries to land. Wants to make sure he doesn't lose his own though. Remember, the Viking count is pretty important in TVT actually, as tanks can shoot longer than they can see, which means they always want a scout, and Vikings kind of make sure they have the air control to always have the vision. So the one with the most Vikings usually have a bit of an advantage with vision at all times, and if you can't catch up in Viking counts, you can't really take any engagements because then you just lose all your Vikings in that kind of fight.
Yeah, that's very true. And on top of that, don't forget that the bio player, if he doesn't maintain that air control, he will not be able to drop. It will be impossible for him to take a straight-up fight without losing all of his medevacs. Great scan does go down at the front, though, and he catches this army and move out of his opponent. Once again, very heavy on the Hellions, but this time we have the bunker at the front. We have these siege tanks up and ready. They're not in siege mode.
No, they're not, but that's a lot of damage with a blue flame. Remember, these Marines don't even have combat shields. Cealer is morphing them all into Hellbats, and he might even drop with one of these if he decides to. That would be a really cool move. Don't think that Smile can really go for this third base. I think he's going to be forced to lift it up, and yeah, this is pretty scary.
Yeah, he might. First volleys do go down, and as you can see, these medvacs are already going low. One of them does fall before they can unload the cargo of these Hellbats, but he gets right on top of the first tank at the front. But I don't think he's going to have enough. SCVs being pulled here. I don't know if that's the right decision. 21 of them getting fried, but he is holding it for now. These tanks doing a lot of damage, and he's going to pick up here, get right on top of the siege tank of Cealer in a very nice maneuver to be able to get to deal with those, and he does hold for now. And even though Cealer with an advantage in workers, we see Smile with this third command center, so he makes the hold, cutting it very close, but he knows that with this production, it's not really a problem. I was a bit concerned for him at the start of the fight, but realizing that it's actually, he can be pulling these kind of moves.
So the thing is here that Smile lost 27 workers, which is a huge amount, of course, but as you point out, we see that Smile already has caught up. He's kind of equal in economy, and he's mining for 3 bases, going to produce SCVs quicker for some time now. So he's actually ahead in economy still, even after pulling that kind of move. And now he's going for the big drop here, has a bigger army than the Cealer, and he can really start being aggressive with these kind of drops. And look at this, only Hellbats to defend with, no Vikings.
And this is a problem for the meching play. You really need that air control, it's super important. And now these Hellbats, what are they going to be able to do? Workers being pulled off the line here for Cealer as he's trying to hold the line. Is it going to be enough though? A handful of workers going down up to 60 now actually, so the number is growing. And
nice,
Smile, yeah, keeping that tank alive, very important here. He can actually even end up picking up and getting out.
Yeah, I don't think he even wants to at this point. He's going to focus down on CC, and Cealer this time is the one who has to call the GG, and Smile managed to pull this series back to a 1-1. It's going to be tied, and, well, I have to say,